So what is the difference between private label and arbitrage? If you just discovered selling on Amazon, you've probably encountered people advocating for both methods, but really, which one is best? In this video, I'll cover the pros and cons of each and why I chose the path I took, and hopefully give you some insight on which avenue you should pursue. But first, my name is Crescent, and on my channel I share tips and strategy videos, just like this one, on how you can create a successful Amazon FBA private label business. So if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing. Alright, let's get started. So two popular methods of selling on Amazon is arbitrage and private label. Now, these two have nothing to do with the terminology FBA or FBM, which describes whether or not you're going to have Amazon do the order fulfillment or if you plan to do it yourself. I have a video here if you want to learn more about the differences between FBA and FBM. Okay, so first, I want to state for the record that there's no right or wrong way to sell on Amazon. There's equally as many successful sellers as there are failures with arbitrage or private label or any other type of business for that matter. The difference between success and failure really only boils down to each individual's level of diligence, perseverance, mindset, and I would argue the most important being competence. I actually made a video that goes over this here if you want to hear my thoughts on that. Some of you might have heard of the 10,000 hour rule. It's from a book Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell, where he did a study that showed that it takes 10,000 hours to master any skill. So if you're one of those people that are constantly looking for that next golden idea or strategy to reach financial freedom quickly, and you have shiny object syndrome where you're constantly hopping from one idea to another, you're destined to fail. All right, so let's start with arbitrage. There's actually two types of arbitrage, retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, but you're essentially doing the same thing with both. You're looking for bargain deals on branded products from retail or online stores, and you're reselling them for a profit on Amazon. These products can range anything from Crest toothpaste to Sony PlayStations to Nike shoes. Most retail arbitrageurs hunt for products at their local Walmart or Target or wherever they can find highly discounted products. And in this case, you're not manufacturing anything. You're simply reselling another company's branded products. Private label, on the other hand, you're actually manufacturing your own products under your own brand, which is why it's called private label. These are typically generic, non-patented or trademarked products that you've identified that can hopefully generate a profit, which you can manufacture and sell under your own brand. And private label is the business model that I chose to take, and I'll explain why by going through the pros and cons of each, and hopefully you'll see why I prefer private label over arbitrage. Okay, so what are the differences and pros and cons between arbitrage and private label? Well, first, which is what most people are concerned with, is the startup costs. With arbitrage, you can start with as little as $50 to $100. You can run down to your local Target or Walmart right now and find some items on sale and relist them on Amazon today. However, with private label, in my opinion, you realistically need around $2,000 to $2,500 to properly set yourself up with a private label business. I'm sure you've seen many people say that you can start a private label business with as little as $500 to $1,000, but that's highly unreasonable and unlikely for a number of reasons, which I go over in detail in this video. And as I said earlier, you can start selling with arbitrage right away. It's as easy as signing up with your Amazon account, buying some discounted products, and listing them under pre-existing listings on Amazon. The photos and item description are already done for you, and you don't need to do any advertising or marketing as everyone's already familiar with the brand and their products. Demand is already there for these products as well, and you don't have to worry about the quality of the reviews as they're not as important compared to private label products since you're selling products from well-established brands. In contrast with private label, it's a much longer and involved process. You need to find a viable niche, source a manufacturer to produce your product, create and optimize your own listing, take photos, and market and advertise the product. Reviews in this case play a huge role in the success of your products. Poor reviews will destroy your sales. So at this point, you might be wondering why anyone would bother with private label then if it costs so much to start and is so much more involved. Well, the thing is with arbitrage, the entire business model is very hands-on for the lifetime of your business. You have to constantly shop for bargain products in order to keep inventory on hand. And because you're selling branded products, you don't have any control over the quality or the ability to differentiate yourself from everyone else. The only thing you can compete on is with price. And unfortunately with Amazon, typically the seller that has the lowest sale price will own what's called the buy box. So anytime a buyer clicks on the buy box, the seller with the best price gets that sale. So if you didn't get your products at a deep enough discount in order to competitively compete for the buy box while turning a profit, you won't get any sales, and that's a huge problem. Whereas with private label, because it's your product, you can set the price to match the level of value that you've added. For example, if you're selling a can opener, you've differentiated your can opener from all the other sellers so that you can charge a premium and maximize your profits without having to compete for the buy box. With that said, with private label, you're actually building your own brand, which is an asset that you can eventually sell in the future. And because you're manufacturing your own products, you don't have to be constantly shopping for discounted products to maintain your inventory levels. With arbitrage, if you get sick or if you stop shopping for discounted products, or if you suddenly can't find any good deals, you're dead in the water. For example, you can see here in a recent article on CNBC where Ryan Grant has a successful arbitrage business, but he spends 30 hours a week looking for products at Walmart that he can flip on Amazon. That's not something that I want to do. With private label, yes, there's a lot of work that's involved, but all that work is done up front. Once you've built an optimized product listing on Amazon, have a reliable manufacturer, and you're generating sales month over month, the business is very passive. The only thing you really need to do is reorder from your manufacturer anytime your inventory gets low. You can truly run the business from anywhere in the world, which is why private label is such a scalable and long-term business model and why it's so appealing to me. So with those reasons in mind, that's precisely why I chose the private label business model to sell on Amazon. I never want to be tied down to anyone or anything. And with my private label business, I'm not tied to finding discounted products every week or tied to any specific location in the world. But with that said, I understand that not everyone has $2,000 or $2,500 to start a private label business. So if you're in this situation, what can you do? Well, first I suggest that you ask yourself how badly do you want to achieve financial freedom. Watching a few hours on YouTube and reading some blogs isn't going to get you there. If you have a job, set aside some money every single paycheck until you've saved $2,000 to $2,500. If you don't have a job, or even if you do, you can start a side hustle by starting with retail arbitrage. With as little as $50 to $100, you can find discounted items at your local store and sell them on Amazon and reinvest your earnings on more products. It may take a few months, but if you're diligent enough, you will quickly build up that capital until you can start your very own Amazon private label business. However, ultimately which path you choose, whether that's arbitrage or private label, depends on you and what your goals are. If you want to learn more about how to get started selling private label products on Amazon, check out these videos here. All right, thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And make sure you click that bell icon to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. There's also a link in the description below to our community forums, which you should totally join. And as always, thanks for watching.